We're almost there, ladies and gents. We've almost made it through.
What time is it?
Pop Bug, you welcome me. Oh, it's about
4:20.
Oh my god!
It's actually it actually is 4:20.
It literally is 4:20. Yes, right here in Sweden, in Stockholm, a fantastic city that we never actually have a chance to see. Well, we all right. Should we explain to the viewers?
Nah, not really.
Okay.
They know. It's
Yeah,
a hard
okay.
work.
Yeah, it is what it is. There you go. Lothar coming in with that Polish strongman arm. It's actually better for that way. But anyway, yeah, Stockholm is indeed a beautiful place. But what's more beautiful than Stockholm is Miramar. That's where I was trying to get at. And on Miramar, NA, we've seen some real good matches, man. I'm really loving how NA rotate and how NA play this map specifically.
Mm-hmm.
I think EU still has a lot to learn. Even if they're scrimming hard right now, I think there's still a lot of stuff that they can learn because NA have taken a much earlier approach to Miramar when the EU was still kind of iffy about the map.
Yeah. I mean,
NA was screaming
he
hard
was
on
complaining about Miramar a lot, and instead of complaining, NA was just
Wait, EU players complaining?
first time I hear about it. I mean, it was only happening during Miramar. But the point is, NA just when Miramar got released, they already started screwing on Miramar from day one, basically, and that is visible. You know,
It is.
every
Absolutely.
single team kind of knows what they're doing, and I think it's actually impressive that they put a lot of work into Miramar and Erangel at the same time.
Absolutely.
But at the same time now we have diversified regions, right? We don't see EU/NA lobbies, and that makes a huge difference. So when teams compete against each other, we see EU basically have the same progress against each other, right, on Miramar, and they don't compete against teams from NA that, an example, did scream a lot more.
Yep, true.
Right.
So that shows us that EU will probably pick up the pace, on Miramar. But before we get to that one, let's have a look at the leaderboards as the current standings are in. There you go, ladies and gents. Cloud9 trucking through powerfully so. 724 points to their name. Second place will be reserved for Space Station Gaming as it is now. FlyQuest on the third, 946. But I want to look at 1T Chaos Latin Gamer booping themselves up from 16th, I think they were, to 10th all the way. Will they stay there though? Because look at Vapor so close behind.
Yeah, that is very close. 26 points. It's a huge difference. And just a reminder, guys, 8 last teams in today's Alpha Division will be degraded to the Bravo Division next week. And they're going to earn less points in the Bravo Division than in the Alpha Division. So this is going to be a hard thing to swallow for them.
Hard pill, yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely. Well, we'll see how it pans out for the last match. Indeed, we're ready in just a few moments to take you through it. So far, let's discuss Erangel though. We were talking about how honest NA plays in South America as well, but how honest they play on Erangel. They tend to go in, with the exception of that one match where Optic kind of lingered around the outside for a little bit longer. Most of the games they played in straight through. They went straight through the first circle. Everybody was pretty much in. They were playing the center strat as powerful as possible. They were all trying to gather as close as possible to the center. Going forward onto Miramar, though, this seems to be a difference. Because no longer do they go all of them towards the center. You start seeing 4, 5, 6 teams trying to play the edge. They know how important positional play is in Miramar, but they also know that getting to where you kind of want to go will most likely end up when you being dead, because traversing Miramar is so much more difficult.
Yeah, but at the same time, they have more open space, right? So they can...
Yes, they do.
Imagine this. On an angle, you have limited ways of approaching a circle, right? Because you have the river, you have the
There are choke
bridges,
points,
you have those choke points, right? And on Miramar, basically you have no choke points apart from the tallest mountains, which are kind of limiting your movement. But other than that, you can approach the game from every single angle. The question is, how do I approach the angle just to not get kind of backstepped or sidestepped by any other team?
Or caught in the open.
Yeah, exactly, right? So, and those are the questions that will have to be asked by the IGLs of the teams. And that is the difference between those two maps. So it's pretty cool to see what are the decisions for the teams, and at the same time they're influenced by the fact how their equipment is looking like, right? If they have 8 time scopes, they can take a different route than when they don't have any time of scopes.
Sure.
So it's kind of hard to predict what's going to happen, but that makes the game fun.
Yeah, absolutely. So there you go. Sort your strategy in terms of your loot And after that, of course, you can make some sort of a powerful mark, as FlyQuest did on the previous match. Really, really good keep from themselves, and that aggressive push at the end, I loved it. As you called it out, that was indeed the best call to have done in that certain scenario, and it panned out beautifully for them. Let's see if they manage to repeat the performance for this, the final match of the GLL NA tournament, day number 1, pretty much.
This is the day 1 of season 1 of GLL NA Lobby, the
Or GLL
last
number
match. And after this match, we're going to know which 8 teams are going to get knocked to Bravo Division, which are going to advance to Alpha Division for the next week. But first, let's see the flight path. And it's the exact opposite of what we had last time.
Pretty much the same, yeah. Indeed. This time seems to be a bit more to the western area, a bit more south than it was last time. Last time it ended up literally in the northwest. But yeah, it's more or less the same kind of deal. And allows team to go to their favorite places, even though we've seen a better split on Miramar than we've seen in EU.
Although we already see a change since Ghost Gaming, it didn't drop for Impala.
Yes,
Noble
that
is
true.
there in the port, but
Ronin Esports went there.
Running went inside into Impala instead of Ghost Gaming, and Ghost Gaming now is
Trailer
taking.
Park and Ruins.
Holy moly! Who's jumping there?
That's not.
Interesting.
That's actually not a bad place. It is actually not a bad place to live.
But you can see also Profi going straight to the craters. So this is interesting. They're gonna split already.
Wildcard.
Wildcard gonna cut them off.
There is a potential car spawn where Profi is going right now, and he might be going for it. Let's see if he spots a car indeed, or if he doesn't have that look.
All right. When it comes to Los Leones, we see Cloud9 in the usual spot. Hacienda is being taken by Envious. Totality taking Pecado again with no challenge from anyone else. Power Grid being left alone. Interesting to see San Martin being so populated. And in the meantime, FlyQuest already... wow, lost my member. Well, that's unlucky. That was actually really unlucky since he was going for the buggy, so that was a late drop. And then I had to just go to the buggy and then got shot with the M16 early game.
Yes, indeed. Circle, though. Not necessarily the best one considering the playing trajectory. Space Station Gaming are going to be very, very pleased as they're going to be looting El Azahar, sorry.
There might be some motivation for Ronin to actually just get into vehicles and go straight to the Campo Militar.
Oh,
but
yeah, that could be good. But do they need to do that because they have Impala, which is... Okay, Impala may not be the best place for looting. It has those little tiny buildings, with the exception of that north side where Texas is, where you can actually find some decent stuff in the open warehouses. But because they're so close to the entrance to the circle, why would they necessarily put themselves on the other edge when they would waste a lot of time and they would waste a lot of resources? Their cars would probably get gassed down as they would go up there. And do they have the cars? Normally in Impala, you do have a few vehicle spawns, not many, but you have a few, where Texas is just to his east and in the town itself. But yeah, we'll have to watch this rotation. I'm curious to see this rotation, especially from FlyQuest, because they are furthest away. And if they go into where we're zooming in right now, then they're not going to have an easy entrance. They know that place might be indeed captured by teams.
well, this is why they might opt to go through the east side and just approach it from the way where Noble and Ronin is right now. So the south side of the circle, and go straight into the circle from its south side, and that might be a solution for them. But at the same time, it's going to be a hard decision since they know that everyone was jumping straight through the line they need to cross. So a lot of teams, they probably were going to go very late into the circle because of that. It's similar to what happened to Optic last game. They were kind of cut off by other teams, so they needed to wait as long as possible to not encounter any teams on the way to the circle. And now let's jump a little bit for a second to Timid and Froliker, because they might actually might meet each other pretty soon.
Yes, indeed, they will. Timid now making steps close to Froliker. But because they're in Los Leones, there's a lot of compounds, a lot of buildings in between them, so they might not likely spot each other. What they could see potentially is Froliker's looting sequence seems to be somehow overlapping Timid's. And if he sees this open door, he should basically know what's up. But Froliker's going to where pretty much everyone goes when they go to Los Leones. And it's that open area with Warhouse and Brickles. Oh, fuck. No, actually spots Timid.
Got a one shot on him.
Oh,
For Vapor, this game is actually very important since they were lingering around 10th place, if I remember correctly. So if they're going to go up in the placements, they're going to be safe in the Alpha division. But if they're going to do badly this game, they're going to get knocked down to Bravo. So
True.
Important game, and it kind of seems like their theme is just to kind of divide their team and just loot separately, which is kind of interesting, especially in this game.
Yes, indeed. Vojillo from Chaos spots his enemies on the other side of this road. And it will effectively be a 1v2 situation. I don't see his teammates anywhere on the minimap, but he will probably have to make it out of this one by himself. H1 seems to be far, and Vojillo, I don't know if he was spotted.
Has to be, otherwise he wouldn't just be there.
Why did he take the shot? Because his enemies were in a vehicle.
Well, he's getting shot right now, so he knows he's being spotted, definitely.
No, when his enemies were traversing. That's what I'm wondering.
Ah.
When Ogunakton and Pat Cutes were traversing, what was the reason for him to actually take those shots? Well, perhaps he thought they wouldn't stop, but then they do. Team ready. I'm going to be now peeked in from the backside. H-Wing coming in to help Vojillo. Works out just grand. Pat Cutes still alive. Vojillo already giving that information. And Pat Cutes is going to be somewhere close to the Baiku. And as he goes in, shots will rain as well. Pat Cutes with one sliver of life left. Is he going to die down? Yes, he will. H-Win takes him out. And that's the support of your teammate coming in.
Nice shots, by the way, by Quinn. Really nice shots. Like, those are amazing, actually. Like, 300 meters, maybe 250, with the 2x scope. Very well done.
I agree.
Let's see what's happening in the middle. Profi got downed by a nade.
From my pocket.
Unlucky.
Vexel's will take damage. H-Win, I don't think he's going to come to the rescue this time around, but I think that Vexel can juke left and right. Yep, he seems to be just fine in his bus. So Hypox's going to give that one. Now going to continue on the fight. AUG in here with the ghillie suit, backpack level 3. Oof, not too bad for a first drop, man.
Man, 7 minutes into the game already. AUG and a ghillie suit. I mean, you don't really need the ghillie suit here, but
and a Groza. Wow, that's a good start.
Ooh.
That is
but who's gonna get that? Actually, no one. Maybe Envious, if they really want to.
Space Station might go for it because, well, they do they know though that there's people close to them?
Now we see the rotation from Ron. They're actually gonna go for Campo Militar, I think. That's gonna be interesting. Envious kinda taking a pencil move at Space Station Gaming. They know that someone will be in that city, 100%. They took the high ground on both sides to scout in that city. We can shoot to kill, trying to migrate, but they're gonna enter into 6 moves. Look at that. No fear. Just
no fear
shooting. Just shooting. There's a car. Let's shoot it.
I mean, he's ready, right? From team ready.
Yep.
He's got to go for it. And Silas, not going to be too bothered. One shot connects, but that's about it. So 6-mo won't do too much damage. The only thing that he does manage to do is keep his enemies away from him. They're not going to be coming anywhere close. So 6-mo avoids some sort of a dink. His teammates, though, are pretty far away. I can always see a Beautiful Death actually might have a player close on his vehicle. No, it's just a Beautiful Death. So 6-mo and a Beautiful Death, the only two left alive for this squad. That's a bit of an... I'm not too sure what happened to Team Ready, but there you go. That's 2 of them left alive. Now, Chaos Gaming coming close to Optic. And this is going to be a fight of the 2 very, very good teams. Shots already taken by Smurf, so Optic Gaming are going to know exactly where their enemies are. Vojillo with the top side peek. And Cactus not helping him out in his pursuit. Ooh, he needs to be careful now, but ooh!
Nice
Puts
shot.
2 headshots in his enemy. That was pretty sick. Bahawaka is going to be forced to go for a heal. His teammates taking turn on firing. This position, I don't like it too much right now where Chaos are playing from.
Not really the best position, especially since almost every single team will be coming from that direction.
Sorry, Pecadores. I call them Chaos.
Oh, good. But they're gonna meet their demise if they're not gonna change this position. So they actually went through the vehicles and they're gonna migrate soon enough. Optic does the same. They know this is a really bad spot because every single team from the west side we're gonna travel towards them as well. In the meantime,
Beautiful death avoids his death.
Yeah, beautiful that is getting shot at, and this is gonna look grim if they're gonna hit some more shots on that vehicle.
No, he's fine. He barely avoided his own death there by not going straight to Envious's path. In the meantime, it looks like Pegador is going to get the res on Voyo. Not too sure how he got down, but it's an unfortunate one nonetheless. Maybe Shepard got him. Didn't manage to catch the kill feed there. Now, not a lot of fights are starting here. We see Uncivilist taking some shots at a driving kickstart from Wildcard Gaming. Counterculture also getting himself knocked out by Purdy. And the kill is likely to follow suit. Even if Counter is behind cover, he won't get a rest for sure. Yeah, there you go. Smithy finishes off what he started. Totality playing this 3+1. And it seems to be working out okay for him at the moment. But they will most likely group up as they go into the center of the next circle. They're probably just waiting for the center of the next circle, and that's when they're going to crash the party.
Yeah, this is going to be really rough right now. Because the next circle depends when it's going to end. We either will have already a lot of fights because of the open space, or we're going to have a similar situation to the last one with the finish in, what was it? Repulsor, right?
Indeed it is. Cloud9, though, might just spot Timid there. Moody, will he be close enough to the road? No, he's not. He's barely not, but he will take the shots on the bike nonetheless. Oh, Timid with a sliver of life left again. The knockout comes through Moody. Holy smokes, it's not a bad shot. You have to consider that the bike is indeed the fastest vehicle, and Timid was flying through. Moody's aim so precise to finish off Timid like that, and that's going to be the end of Timid. Of course, there's no res again possible. His teammates are way, way, way too far. They're not going to come for a helping hand. There's no point to it at this moment.
Very well done by Moody. Impressive shooting.
Yeah.
This is like some highlight reel stuff, you know?
Some sick stuff coming out of them. Cloud9 have really powerful riflers. Really, really powerful. Now, Ghost Gaming trying to make their way inside a very dangerous area as well. You can see that teams have already made their way through. Wildcard Gaming is specifically in Torre Ahumada inside the circle.
They already lost one member while scouting out, so
as well as
they're gonna need to watch it out. And look at that!
There she goes. There she goes, straight, kind of in the center of the previous one. It's gonna be seeing Space Station Gaming still in a very good position. They've went there early enough in El Azhar, and they've stayed all through, and they're not gonna get contested anytime soon. Ooh, and Civilis shoot to kill. Doesn't hold true to his name. But Austin's coming through as a nice bonus package. Austin doesn't have a lot of life left on him, so he's going to have to go around. And that he does indeed just disappearing from the minimap.
Well, we'll see that Ghost Gaming kind of takes a wide path. Mikoi and the Legend got split, while Austin goes just north.
17 has chances to find a vehicle where he is right now. That's a very high chance of a drop on that area. We'll see if he finds it on the outside of the blue. But as we turn our attention to Mikoi, he is now hurting. He's now cruising. Is he cruising for a bruising, though? Not need. Won't connect. I don't think it will. Surely.
He has 21 bandages, but only one medkit.
He's got a 21 bandages, but a medkit ain't one.
Yeah, he just used the 8 kit. He can fully boost with that one painkiller and an energy drink, and I think that's what he's doing right now. So this is not an easy situation. He needs to make a call. Will he fall back? And I think he will. He goes to the bike. He goes to the buggy and gonna drive away and meet with his teammates. But it's gonna be still a hard task to do since he's in the last. He's in position of the last. Let's say last pole position. No.
Yeah,
Can you say pole position? Pole position is the first one.
Pole position is the first one. Yeah. Look at the way Ghost Gaming are playing around. They're playing quite split up. That's not necessarily going to go through their advantage. Vexa, woo, eating up a lot of shots, but not getting himself knocked out. Rojillo as close to his teammates as possible. And they're in a decent-ish position. Oh, but that buggy gets one wheel shot out.
So now it's faster, right?
Good meme. I like the way they've adjusted the vehicles after the 1.0 update.
Yeah, I like it too. It feels more natural, actually.
Yeah, the fact that you can drive, it feels more weird to drive them, but the fact that you can drive them with 3 or even 2 wheels, I love that. It kind of gets you out of a dire position whenever you're in a Monk S spot where your enemies shoot off your tire.
Well,
you can still get out.
Only if you have high ground and can just get the roll in.
If you have if you have a safe cover close to you, but yeah. No, you can still drive it. It doesn't necessarily mean that you can't drive it on the straight.
Sometimes it's just slower than you on foot, you know.
A buggy would, a Bronco wouldn't. Give it a go, even with 3 wheels.
I mean, with 2.
With 2, yeah, okay. With 2, you're a bit scuffed, but at least what I'm saying is you can get to cover. Before the 1.0 update, when you had 2 wheels, you were dead. That car is gone.
Mm-hmm.
If 2 wheels were taken out of it. Now, did Dizzy get himself something handy? No, he didn't. Looks like he's the only thing he's getting is bullets, but that's not his. Oh, it's from his enemies. Well, it actually connects. Texas gonna try and fire off.
And he had literally 0 medkits, 0 boosters. So
Yep.
every single damage is permanent right now, unless he's gonna find something.
Well, he's got the comfort of his teammates, I suppose. So what did he avoid? Okay, an M249 with a level 3 vest and an adrenaline syringe, which is something that he could have put to good use indeed. But they've been gate kept. Well, not gate kept. Let's see, drop kept by normal.
El
Keep them
Azhar got
away.
completely abandoned by all the teams that were in it, and just outskirts of the city are now being populated.
Yeah, because it's kind of hard when the circle is so wide and you have the option to go on the outside of a town. You're most likely going to go for it.
Mm-hmm. You need the angle on the
It's so
teams that want to
scary.
approach it, right?
It's
Yeah.
so scary to go into a town because you never know how to navigate it without getting shot. Because you don't know where people are going to be shooting you from.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why you see teams not pushing in necessarily late to towns they don't necessarily have a good familiarity with, or rather towns that will get them knocked out because Azhar has 2 roads, and outside of those 2 roads, you cannot navigate any kind of path. There is a connection through them as well.
Okay, Wildcat shooting at Optic. This is gonna be a really, really interesting spot right now because 4 teams gonna meet, even 5 teams gonna meet with each other. In the meantime, Totality and Envious have the drop on him. They see the movement. Will they take the shots? Oh, they're in the vehicle. They can get spammed right now. If they want it, they can just shoot the boss, and that will be about it. 1 hit. Will they get the finish? Not really. They can push it right now, but this is gonna take a while, and in the meantime, Jesse will get rest, so it's not worth it. Totality knows that and just gonna move around. I think getting
Smithy.
shot at by someone else.
Oh, yes, he does. I think that was a bit of a distance as well.
You know, it sounds like a VSS. So
Oh,
this
there you
is
go,
pretty
the
far
rest of
away.
Envious.
Envious. Look at that.
Helping him out.
Envious just doesn't care. Just, oh, look at that guy. Let's shoot at him.
No,
How
they're
far away
helping-
is this?
No, they're
No.
helping out their teammates. Because they were about to get pushed
Oh, you're
in by
right. You're
Total.
correct. What I'm talking about. Okay, this is the early morning talk.
Oh, absolutely. And it's totally understandable, my friend, at this point. Now, let's see another team pick out those try to make their way inside the circle. It doesn't look like they're going to get... Oh, if they stop here, though. Oh, this is dangerous. Stopping by the edge, trying to make a... Well, making a lot of noise, actually. Optic are going to know exactly where they are. And they're going to come close to them. Or would they? No, they would much rather hold on to the current combat that they have. Smurf and Vexel have a second chance at life. Wow. Optic Gaming playing a very passive game, which is not something that we've seen them do before. But I guess, you know, things
I mean,
change.
that depends on the points that they have right now. I can't really remember which position do they have. I think somehow around
True.
5.
That's my morning talk.
God
I'm
damn it.
treating this as the first match. I'm not taking into consideration the current standings as well. But yeah, that's definitely probably it. That's definitely probably it. Envious still making their way as well close to Picadores. We'll see how that one works later on. Undercover Pie now with currently 8x on top.
Ooh, perfect weapon.
We'll peek into some enemies close by. El Azhar is about to get swarmed in. If the next circle contains it, this is the time when teams are going to start making their way in. Ooh, a shot from Undercover Pie Man.
That was close to actually nailing that head.
Made me move in my seat. Now he has the good reference. He knows where to shoot next time
Mhm.
around. There's one of his teammates. One of his enemies speaking out. In the meantime, though, he's gonna have to pick one of his teammates. Room got knocked out himself, but it's a safe place to res unless Totality come way too close. But Totality smartly lose their vehicles on the outside. Ooh, Totero doesn't his. Now he does. So they're gonna make their way inside the circle quite silently. If you have vehicles, you can do one of 2 things. Either drop them before the circle so you're not going to be hurt as you come in, or go straight in as far as you can.
Yep.
So Totality do the right thing and they leave the vehicles before they enter the circle so that they're not going to be hurt themselves.
Unless they're
Smart
gonna
thing.
shoot at something, because that happens pretty often in the day.
That is true. They do get a bit aggressive. Well, this time around, we're going to see some teams getting aggressive. Of course, as you said it, points do matter, and a lot of teams want their extra points at this point in time. See what I did there?
Yeah, I saw. Oh, that is some angle with that car. But they nailed the parking job, so that's good. Gonna be a valet.
And it's a compound here that they can take easily without having to worry too much about any kind of team being close to them, because it's not a compound that you can actually see through too far.
Yep.
So you can keep a close angle onto your entries, and that's about it. You kind of have to pray that nobody comes to try and take it. You can see actually on the south side, but that's pretty much it about for that comp there in El Azahar. 17. Doing the smart thing again and leaving his vehicle on the outside. Oh, unfortunately enough, Smurf has him pinned and taken out. And that's a clean frag coming in out of Smurf.
It's gonna be a very tough situation for Optic actually now to move out, and Shepard is in the same situation. Look at that. Every single team, FlyQuest has Optic between them and a Smurf, so that's Pecadores. Then Shepard, they're gonna be in between Totality and Pecadores, and the Envious has like the best position of them all because they have high ground. They're already in the circle. They're gonna see every single team coming out. So the question is how they will split each other when it comes to the angles, and are they able to do some damage to those teams approaching the circle?
Duck now, shooting at Boom, who has to duck himself. Now I can understand the genius of his nickname, because when he shoots, you have to duck. That's what
Maybe
they say when they see him.
Duck.
No, that's what they say when they see him. Duck. Purdy now took Vojio down. Sorry, that means that might be the... No, that was a knockout and then a kill. Okay, so Chaos are still not out of this one. It's an important game. Just to remind you guys at home, it's a very important game for Chaos Gaming to stay alive in. They're on the 10th place, just hanging by a thread. We'll see if they manage to keep themselves there or higher for the end. And as well to remind you that bottom 8 teams, so the teams from 11 to 18, are going to go into Lobby Bravo for next week, whereas the first 8 teams in Lobby Bravo are going to be moving into this one here. So that's why they want to make sure that they're in the top 10, so they can win the best amount of points, because Bravo have points halved. If here Chicken Dinner is 200 points, in Lobby Bravo it's just 100.
Yep.
GG.
But it still counts to the
It
advance
still
to the
counts, yeah.
finals, so...
In the long run, it will, definitely.
Yeah. We're gonna see some teams probably like, you know, finishing twice in the alpha and like 3 times in the beta, maybe still advance. Because who knows, if you get really good results in the Bravo division, you might still get into the LAN. All depends on the points, all depends on the mix-up between the teams, because it feels kind of balanced, right? When you have 8 teams rotating every single week, I think you can be really rewarded for your consistency.
I think Team Totality might have done a boo-boo here. They've alerted enemies close to them that they're nearby, so now they're going to be caught in a battle, which otherwise they wouldn't have been caught in. Insert sponsor here. We'll have them pinned down. Nop wide in the open, but he still peeks in. He has to. Vico will now take a closer approach. And as Nop takes shots, Vico takes them as well. Nop with a sliver of life left. Only doesn't manage to get Vico. This might be the hardest part for Team Totality, but at least they have a split. At least 2 of the members might make it a bit closer, even though they have a full squad close to them. There goes the first knockout against Totality. There has been put to sleep.
And
Shepard now might get caught. Oh, there he goes. Nop actually is going to be the one that gets dinked down. And this might be the good time for Vico to push in, but Purdy will have the better of him.
Purdy's also down.
It is not working out for Team Totality right now. They're losing members left and right. And there goes the last one as well, taken down by Fiends. That was Squad 13, Chaos Latin Gamers. And that is Team Totality out of the match in the 4th circle. 5th with about to reveal as well.
Flag was getting the drop on Optic right now, and wow, through the smoke. Nice shots from Comet. Hetero is getting down. Now we see also Hyper getting down. So this is it the end of Optic? They actually...
Looks to be about it.
Yeah, they got demolished.
Yep, correct. Ghost Gaming still in a good place. I want to have a look at Ghost Gaming for a moment later on. Yep, there they are, Austin. Right there. So they have a little love shack to work with here.
3 people inside of it. So this is gonna be a little bit awkward if they're gonna
Totally worth it.
They're gonna get surrounded.
Yeah. Yes. And the problem is that they're seen everywhere around, because everywhere around this road there's higher ridges. So if a nade wouldn't it be a shame if a nade would fall in there? Ghost Gaming, memeing it around.
All just a bullet from a car 98 through the window.
Or that.
To your head.
Or that. Yes, indeed.
Moody got knocked down, where his teammates Frex is a little bit, you know, lingering around.
Close. So that's the positive side of that, and they have a little bit of a divot to work with here. Some shots come in from Frex, and they do seem to connect. Moody will get the res in the meantime there, so they're going to play as threes. 14 left alive, though, so Cloud9 have to pull it through. However, they got such good placements that they can just chill back. They don't need to take any frags right now.
That's true.
All they have to do is kind of relax at this moment in time.
Next circle closing down. As you can see, it's pretty slow, so teams can go into the circle, but it's getting harder and harder when it comes to sustaining the damage from the circles.
Oh, Gale Force! Oh, Gale Force, thank you!
Holy crap, Benki with so many headshots that I probably couldn't even count them on both of my hands.
He just freaking wipes out Chaos Light Gamer single-handedly, man.
Oh, that's
look at
nice view.
That's what happens when you go down. You get it? I'm sorry, that was horrible. Another one falls.
Oh, man.
What's going
Wolf
on, man?
is gonna get
This is the Special Olympics.
killed by that circle. Unfortunate for him. No chance of reviving him.
No, absolutely.
Bankyu in the meantime wants to get as many heals as possible and then go into the circle, and that is possible.
And they're going to be making it all right as well.
Yeah.
You're not going to have anybody contesting them. In the meantime, Rounding do have somebody contesting them. Unsevered is taking those hard shots. Shoot to kill. Doesn't happen.
They
Not
do
really.
indeed.
Later on,
Wild
perhaps.
card getting some shots at them, and one of the guys getting downed. That was Pride. Cloud9 in the meantime. The Afro Moody taking high ground. They actually have an excellent position
They have
right
a
now.
very good position right now. It all depends on how the next circle is going to pan in, but as it sits, Cloud9 are sitting pretty.
All
Even
depends
if-
if running will go with them towards that hill and meet at the tippity top.
Ooh, Moody gets knocked out again.
Who
By
was
2 mine.
that?
By 2 mine.
All right, so that's the wild card from the other side of the hill.
That's the only guys that they actually need to worry about. And okay, they really need to worry about those guys now because they need to make their way through to where Wildcard can see them.
And look
Tumai
at the
as well
ghost
getting
gaming.
a knock on Frolicker. So that means that Frex is going to have to go up and res both his teammates. Undercover Pie. Oh, he's pretty much a freaking pie
Whoops.
in the middle of the road here. And he's going to be spotted by Envious, and he's going to be brought down himself by Venerated while Jesse takes Benku down.
In the meantime, Ghost Gaming just chilling in their shack because it's in the middle of the circle.
It is. Someone will try to... Oh, come close. But that someone is actually taking shots further down the road. FlyQuest have no idea how close Ghost Gaming are to them. And they wouldn't suspect it either. Ghost Gaming have been... Dude, they've been brazen at this whole game.
Yeah. Oh, whoopsie. How the hell that happen?
Whoops, a daisy indeed. Second one, the third one does not occur. Kaisul.
Was a nice try.
Kaisul.
Was a nice try from Boom. Noble could have actually had a drop on three of them.
But because they shot their shots, Frexis might just have a gatekeep for them. Although Frexis is going to have to move in as well. Uncivil is taking so much more damage, but it doesn't really matter because they're in the circle, so they can gatekeep Ronan Esports as much as they want. Ronan now taking chunks from the blue. They have to make it straight in. And as they do, WizWiki peeks out, spots them, but unable to capitalize on the kill. Dizzy might just go away at the Wither at the blue.
And the blue is closing right now.
But Uncivilist gets himself knocked out again.
Well, this is a really tough
He was on
position
the
to be
outside.
to have cover. Oh, was he? Okay. It kind of looked like he's inside of it.
Yep. I don't know why he ventured in there, but all I know is that WizWiki doesn't have an easy task right now. He finds the first knockout. Dizzy left alive, though. Dizzy's going to peek in through the window. Not he won't. Kickstart. Wildcard Gaming take him down.
Well, Wildcard just won the
Help him
hearts of shoot to kill, but WizWiki gets his kill as well.
Ghost just looking around to where the shots are coming in from. They got no worry in the world.
So we have shoot to kill with one teammate. Pecador is now, I think, dead already. Yep, that's it. And we have Ghost Gaming still chilling in the shack. Then we see Space Station Gaming approaching with a full team, and this is gonna be a force to be reckoned with. Wildcard Gaming have the high ground advantage right now, and I have seen them taking the opportunity to shoot their opponents that were coming to WizWiki and shoot to kill. So this is gonna be an interesting situation.
Yep, indeed. Envious have their spot, but you have to worry about Wildcard Gaming first.
Space Station Gaming on the
They're fine.
flank for Ghost Gaming. Now the question is, will they see them?
The problem is as soon as they're going to see them, Wildcard Gaming, you're going to see Space Station Gaming. So Space Station, Ghost
Ghost
have
Gaming.
their own saviors, pretty much their own bodyguards. But now as they come out, shots are going to be given him left and right, front and back. SSG putting in some fear god into Austin. And there goes the nade as well to follow suit. Ghost Gaming eliminated, turned into Ghost. All in a matter of a second. Gunner just puts in some shots just to make sure that has been dealt with here. Though Envious are going to be on the other side of the ridge. And Envious, if they get the res in time, they could get Space Station Gaming. But oh my god, how is Check Shooter still in this one?
Those were like 4 hits straight in his body.
Oh, that nade. Oh,
Will it hit him?
Barely doesn't go on the other side of the ridge. If it would have. It would have made for a highlight run.
I think that was like the maximum range of a grenade, you know?
Well, it's 80 meters. Let's see. It could potentially be done. Nope.
No, that's the maximum range.
Well, you could jump, you can run, you can shoot it that way. Fear, though, takes some shots on himself. And now SSG are going to have to go into a dip. This is it, the arena of death, pretty much, where they're going. There's no cover. And Envious try to delay the inevitable as long as they can. Another nade rains into Jesse, but it's not going to be even close. Fear now does connect some shots, and that's at a very good timing because now Envious have to heal as the blue strangles them. So
Well,
these
the blue
shots
from
are
their
so
side,
important.
that is correct. But at the same time, the blue is really slow from their side. Obviously, the best position that the wildcard has right now is a blessing. They have high ground. They have good position. They don't need to worry about the blue. And that's what the other teams need to do right now. They need to move. And Envious did take a vehicle. Oh. Wow, nice shots from Envious. Caden getting the knock on Fear. And now they can take the vehicles and go or just straight run into the circle.
Yeah, Jesse actually made a run for it. That's a ballsy move. Takes down Kickstart.
Wow. How did he kill him?
Schrader.
He just straight drove to him and just killed him.
Probably ran him over, to be honest with you. Schrader, though, takes Caden down. That's a good combination right now for SSG, who seem to have a very good chance. If Wizwiki is taken down, and he is by Jesse, then this is indeed a chance for SSG to push forward. WDC have lost 2 members in the meantime here. It's not an easy task for anybody that's not Space Station Gaming at this point in time. Jesse Lull might just get captured, and soon enough. Oh, wow.
That was close. He heard the steps, but it was a little bit too late. 2 teams left.
And that is it. Full man squad again, as it was last match, versus 2 from the same team. And the push comes in right now. A boost, perhaps, or Fear.
Now everyone is going to max boost whatever they have. This is the last situation when you can actually use your items. So if you're not boosting up, it's a waste.
Oh, here comes the knockout and a counter knockout to follow suit. But Shredded rather finishes up the whole NA with a good kill on him. And there she blows 9 frags in total for Space Station Gaming to close down the NA sector of Global Loot League Season 1 Alpha Lobby. Week number 1 NA. Muy bueno. I don't know what else to say.
Well, I have to say, the Miramar games were super interesting. And GG to SSG, GG to Wildcard, GG to Envious. And I have to say, Ghost Gaming was also impressive the entire day. I'm going to have the leaderboards in a second. We're going to see how it shapes up and who is going to be advancing. Sorry, who is going to be degrading.
To Lobby Bravo.
Exactly.
Absolutely. So the top 10 teams, as we said it again, you got 18 teams, right? Top 10 are going to be sticking to where they are. The bottom 8 are going to go to Lobby Bravo, where points are halved. And then the top 8 teams in Lobby Bravo are going to come into Lobby Alpha, which is where we're going to be casting. So there you go. This is the animation to show you what's going to be happening here. The downside to being a Lobby Bravo, again, the fact that your points are halved, you're not going to see a heck of a lot. But there's still movement that you can make every single week. We're going to have this back and forth. So every team will have an effective chance at winning the right amount of points, so to speak. The full amount of points, rather.
In this system, basically consistency is being paid off.
Consistency is key, yeah.
So if you're being consistent in the top 8 of the alpha, you're kind of guaranteed the spot in top 8 for LAN, almost. There can be some scenarios like...
You are, if you're consistent, because not all teams are going to be consistent. If one team keep this track this as you go as we go along with GLL. If either like any teams from any or EU keep themselves up in the top 8 for every single GLL trucking through, maybe perhaps losing one, that team is most likely going to have enough points at the end of the tournament to make it into the LAN. There goes the highlight from Moody. Sick shot, man. Hitting someone on a bike, not an easy task. Here comes Banky though. Holy smokes.
Those are some amazing shots. 3 kills for Benku.
He held real good to where he did. Boom was a bit confused here. As you can see, he was like, well, is this my friend? Is this my enemy? Are we still alive? No, we're not. Kalisko finally brought him down. And this is where SSG kind of woke up into the game and kind of realized, okay, we can pull this through if we did that. Oh, that knee coming in from shredded to shred him down pretty much.
And that's the final
and the closer
stage of the game. Well, I have to say, Miramar was awesome. Didn't suspect.
NA was awesome on Miramar.
Yeah, NA was awesome on Miramar,
Yes,
and then NA was awesome, also awesome on Erangel, since they played it so aggressively.
Yeah.
So
An honest
taking
game.
like, I feel like they had been taking every single chance to kill someone. You know, it was way different than what I've seen from EU. 2 different styles, and that's also cool because then we're gonna see the clash of those 2 styles in Bucharest when we have the final ready on LAN, right?
Yeah,
so
true.
this is gonna be super interesting.
There you go. Ladies and gents, we have the results from Lobby Bravo. So we'll have a look and see who's going to be moving back and forth. So there you go. After 5 games, the top teams are going to be Rush, Ignite PUBG, Resolute, Havoc, Nova Esports, LG, Smoking Aces, and Set to Destroy X. There you go. These guys are going to be moving into the first lobby there. You can see still. Have a look at this. So Rush, first place, 22 kills, 383 points is all they could gather because points are halved. So, in all legitimacy, they would have had over 700 points were they in the first lobby. Well, of course, it would have been a different story because you have different teams. But the fact that their points are halved shows you how important it is to be in lobby alpha and how hard teams must struggle to put themselves in there. But the fact that you can still get some scrape the bottom of the barrel there with some points on Bravo is still a good thing.
Yeah. I mean, if you can get to the top 8 in Bravo, then you should play in the Alpha, right? But if you don't get into the top 8 in Bravo, then why should you be a competitor for the LAN, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
that is the
consistent.
yeah,
I'm not saying about the first week.
consistently. Yeah, exactly.
So we're gonna see how it goes. But we're gonna have the results for Alpha in a second, because that needs to be calculated to see who is gonna get down to Bravo. And we have seen some really good names already in European division. They're gonna get knocked down. I remember Method gonna be playing in Bravo next week. There was also Vitality, yes, exactly.
Wow.
And can't remember the third name, but there was another team.
Lumber Mill, I think they went to Bravo as well. That's some good teams going in where they.
Honestly, I feel like there will be a lot of movement between those 2 divisions when it comes to the top teams, and they're gonna have to like swallow that and just get back to Alpha then in 2 weeks, basically.
I'm expecting them to literally, at least 6 out of the same teams that went to Bravo now to come back into Alpha next week.
Yeah, I mean that's probably how it's gonna work, right? But it's all about mixing up the results and having like differentiate points, and just to kind of see.
Yeah, it's a system that rewards consistency.
Yeah,
it's a system that rewards consistency. If you're constantly on your tippy toes and if you're constantly doing good, then you're obviously going to get rewarded for that one. And you're going to, staying at the top 8 is going to grant you so much more by winning all the full points. So that's the way the quickie crumbles, I suppose, in that regard. But yeah, it's a cool kind of thing. It's a battle royale within a battle royale. You feel me? Because it pits 2 lobbies against each other.
Yeah.
And teams want to go into the first lobby, so they have to like survive, strive for survival, like that kind of survivalist kind of element into the game. It's pretty kind of a cool thing that GLL have got going on here. It's a bit of an inception for this particular genre.
What is awesome though is that we
got.
What do we got?
Results.
Oh, do we? That's awesome.
From Alpha. All right, let's find out who your victors are going to be. Who are the ones that are going to be standing in here. So the top 10 teams are Space Station Gaming, Cloud9, Wildcard Gaming, Envious, Ronan Esports, FlyQuest, Team Ready Ghost Gaming, Shoot to Kill, and Chaos Latin Gamers, who make it through with 380 points. That's 14 points between them and the next ones down.
14 points, that is not much. So Optic Gaming, Vapor, Percadores, Instant Sports are here, Gale 4 Esports, Noble, Totality and Tempo Zone, because they didn't play unfortunately today,
Yeah.
are gonna get pushed to Bravo Division for next week.
They got
But-
delayed, by the way.
Yep.
Their flights got delayed. They wanted to play.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that is really sad. But anyway, they have a chance next week to advance to Alpha back and still fight for the spot in the land, because, you know, if you're gonna be on the land, you want to win Alpha anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. And they'll have their chance at it, no problem at all. There you go. This is going to be the swap of Rooney. There's some good teams actually going into Lobby Bravo as it sits. Can't wait to see how those ones will perform, how those games will go through.
We're
Of
gonna
course.
see next week.
Yeah,
Because this is the conclusion of first week of season 1 for GLL right now, and it was a long day.
It's been it's been indeed a long. It was a beautiful one. A lot of PUBG action here. I'm super stoked that we pulled this through because we've seen some great stuff, man. I mean,
Yep.
NA Miramar is always worth the watch. I'm always a big fan of them. The fact that they have this, it's just, I don't know, it feels a more fluid kind of game.
Mm-hmm.
And the last point I want to make, Ghost Gaming in that shack, no one even thought they would be in there.
Yep.
This shows you how honest NA plays. Like, no one thought, like, in EU, they would have been like, yeah, there must be a dude in there.
Rocket launcher that piece.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. In EU, they were like, yeah, definitely there's a guy in there. Keep close, keep your eyes peeled. In EU, in NA, they were like, yeah, nobody's playing that. Everybody's going for fights, bro.
And they actually
I love
managed
it.
to be in the top 10 because of that spot, you know?
Yeah.
If they wouldn't take it,
Yeah, they probably would have been worse for wear. Yeah. True. So there you go. A bit of sneakiness, a bit of borrowing from the EU strats, you know, making your way, squeezing your way into the top 10 works out for Ghost Gaming. And always a pleasure to watch and cast any match. They're always more entertaining because of all the fights that they don't refuse. You know, in EU, they'll refuse a fight, they'll back down, they'll go away, they'll find another way into the circle, and he goes
it's
at
a
it.
different type of play style, man.
It's a different type of
Both
play style.
have
That's-
the space in Battle
for
Royale.
me and for me as a standpoint from a viewer perspective, it's more entertaining to watch this because, you know, it's like, ooh, yes, aggression, momentum,
Clash of
speed.
Titans.
Clash of Titans, yeah, you know what I mean? And it's top teams as well. So, a very enjoyable night of PUBG brought to you by GLL. We're going to be coming back to you next Wednesday, so definitely tune in to us. Thank you very much for sticking around here with us, guys, and thank you for bearing with us through the time of ordeal. It's actually been a time of pleasure, man. I don't know, for me, it's been really, really great. being
9
around.
hours of pleasure.
This is a
Good
record.
Valentine's Day.
That's a record. For Valentine's Day, you get 9 hours of pleasure.
Yep.
There you go. That's going to be the closer for you on that bombshell. We're going to see you guys next Wednesday at the same time in the same place. Until then, have yourselves a fantastic week.